I know not best comparison, etc. Okay, it's not written quite right. I will paraphrase Tiffany's question. Her question simply is this. Referring to Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden and John Lennon. Both of them are British. Both of them have British accents. It wouldn't have to be British, it could be anybody with an accent. The question basically is how come when people are singing that we know that they come from a you know, they have an accent, they have an English accent or a German accent or whatever, and when we hear them speak, but when we hear them sing, we don't hear the accent like we do when they speak. British speaking individuals are singing, they don't really sound British typically. Now there may be a subtle, you may hear it a little bit subtly, but as a general rule, a lot of it or all of it sort of goes away. Why is that? Why is it that when people are singing, we don't hear their accents as profoundly as we do when they're speaking? All right, 2 reasons for that. Number 1, the consonants and the vowels, the phonetics of speaking, what I'm doing right now, the way the little tiny muscles inside my larynx and my vocal folds are moving and compressing and contracting, and the way my tongue and my lips and articulators are moving to articulate American style English, okay? Specifically, we have different dialects in the US, specifically Pacific Northwest, Seattle style English. Okay, the way I'm moving to make those sounds are radically different than the way my tongue and my lips and my little muscles around my vocal folds and all of that are moving and articulating for singing. And that applies to anybody. Bruce Dickinson, who's British, from Iron Maiden, when Bruce speaks to you in an interview, he sounds like a British chap.
Metal came out of something that was called heavy rock. Heavy rock was simply an offshoot of blues rock. Right?
But when Bruce starts singing, you don't really hear an English accent. Not really. You don't. I don't think you really do.
What shall I do? Oh, yeah.
Okay? Why? Because when Bruce is singing, just like when I'm singing or John Lennon is singing, when he's singing, he's articulating a set of consonants and vowels that are unique and exotic for an art form called singing, right? Not speaking. It's not the same thing. And by the way, that's why we have an online course. That's why we have a book. That's why we have voice coaches like myself in big studios. Okay? That's why there's an industry of voice coaches. Not the only reason, but it's one of the reasons. It's because students come and take lessons, and it's one reason why singing can be hard. It's because the body has to learn new ways of doing the consonants and the vowels that are radically different than speech. So you sort of have to, sort of like learning a new language. Learning to sing is kind of like learning a new language because you have to teach the articulators new movements, all right? So that's that. Now the other thing is this is particularly interesting. The second reason is it deals with the physics of sound in the human voice. The higher we go in frequency, the more all of the vowel colors begin to become homogenized and become one. All right? So down here at lower frequencies, which, by the way, that's where the speaking voice resides. The speaking voice is sort of low in frequency. I'm kind of, I'm talking around I don't know, maybe a low G, A, somewhere around there is where I'm speaking, okay? So on low frequencies, A, I, O, A, all of these vowel colors are very clear. They're very finite. An A is an A, an A is an A, an O is an O, an E is an E, okay? Especially when you're speaking, primarily because it's low in frequency. The lower the frequency, the more distinct the vowel colors are perceived. All right? That's why country singers who are singing low in their chest voice, it sounds a little bit more speech-like. Okay. On the other hand, as we go higher in frequency, all of those unique sound colors begin to sort of homogenize. All right? Eventually, at some point, super high in the voice, all those sound colors blend into one, and eventually it becomes a whistle. Okay? That's what a whistle is. Whistles only happen at super high frequencies, and a whistle is basically, in some sense, it's all of the vowel colors, all the speech vowel colors, scrunched up, compressed into one homogenized sound because it's so high. But there's enough homogenization, there's enough of that physics phenomenon going on around that fourth octave that it removes the accent.
Wow.
Okay? It sort of takes away all those little nuances that are unique to speech that you don't get on singing. Okay, so let's summarize. Why do people with accents, when they sing, not sound like they have their accent? Number one, because the vowels and the consonants that they're using for singing are exotic, and they're literally, it's a different vocabulary of articulated movements than speech. That's one reason. Two, in particular, in regards to the vowels, the higher you go in frequency, the more all of the distinct vowel colors begin to homogenize and become one. All right? At some point, it literally becomes a whistle, which you can't really sing through a whistle. All right? You can use whistle as a vocal effect like Mariah Carey, sure. But you don't like sing words through a whistle. Why? Because there's no vowel colors, it won't work. All right? So somewhere around the fourth octave, as I said, you're starting to get a little bit of that homogenization of the sound colors, enough to remove accents and speech-like nuances. But you still have enough separation that you can sing a song and belt and Beatrice Dickinson all day long.